Do you want to surrender? Or do you want to continue?
In 1885, in Leipzig, in the German Empire, this astonishing incident took place. I shall recount the events exactly as they happened, without exaggeration. "Those Asian people at the back are looking at us," Vera said to Herbert. Herbert glanced briefly in their direction and replied, "Ah, I know who they are. He's an exchange student from Japan called Mori, and he said he wanted to translate Goethe's Faust," said Herbert. Their conversation turned to the opera Faust, which they had seen together. Vera had been particularly taken with the role of Mephistopheles. "You're my Mephistopheles," Vera said mischievously to him. Herbert's wife, Constance, had long since noticed that there was something odd about her husband. One day in his study, she found his diary, which he had carelessly left out in the open. The woman's name was Vera, and she was Russian. She was the daughter of one of Russia's wealthy landowners, a group whose numbers had been growing since the Emancipation Edict, and had come to Leipzig to study medicine, though it seems she also happened to learn about sex with a married man whilst she was there. One day, when Vera returned to her lodgings after her lecture, she found a letter with no addresser's name slipped under the door. "I happened to learn, quite by chance, about the man with whom you are involved. I am the woman who, until just now, had believed myself to be that man's wife." The letter was a challenge to a duel from Herbert's wife, Constance. It went on to state that the weapons for the fight would be not swords or pistols, but whatever you are most skilled at. Kolachny boy. Constance had deliberately written the word in Cyrillic. It referred to Russia's indigenous form of boxing. It was certainly true that Vera had enjoyed this rough-and-tumble sport from a young age, playing alongside the boys. Despite the calm tone of the letter, Vera wondered whether Herbert's wife might have lost her mind out of jealousy.
Jetzt kriegst du's!
Whilst Vera was reading the letter, Constance was behind the big top of a circus performing in Leipzig. Martha, a performer who puts on boxing acts at the circus, chased away the male circus troupe members who were there. Martha said, "Just remember this one thing. Never close your eyes. Never take your eyes off your opponent." The day of the duel, Vera made her way to the place Constance had indicated in her letter. Early in the morning, the train arrived at the station with a few passengers on board. Although the two women were meeting for the first time, they recognized each other immediately. Without exchanging a single word, they continued walking through the birch grove. As if by mutual agreement, the two women quickly stripped off their clothes without a word. Whatever form the fight might take, they did not want to soil their clothes for the journey home.
Will you surrender? No! No!
When Constance came to her senses, the woman was lying there with her eyes wide open. Constance hurriedly got dressed, left the woman lying where she was, and went to report to the local council office near the station. "I caused a woman's death in a duel," Constance said to the middle-aged official. "What on earth was the method of the duel?" the official said, looking at her bruised face. She explained the circumstances leading up to this point. The official furrowed his brow and took on a stern expression. "Madam, your actions may not be subject to the offence of duelling," said the official. "According to the Imperial Penal Code, even if one kills an opponent in a duel, the penalty is a minimum of 2 years' imprisonment. However, duels are defined as those conducted with lethal weapons only. Furthermore, since the enactment of the Penal Code in 1871, there has been no instance of a bare-handed fight being treated as a duel." "So what exactly did you do?" "You sent a letter to your husband's mistress, summoning her to a deserted spot, where you caused her death. This constitutes premeditated murder, which, under imperial criminal law, may be punishable by beheading with an axe." Perhaps out of pity for Constance, the official added in a low voice, "If I were you, I wouldn't claim it was a duel. I'd say I'd summoned the woman to talk things over. But a quarrel broke out, and I ended up killing her." This extraordinary incident sent shockwaves not only through Leipzig, but throughout the German Empire. Although Constance, who had been detained, faced the possibility of a lenient sentence for manslaughter, she insisted that it had been a duel between women. Herbert Eulenberg tried several times to visit his wife in custody, but she refused every time. Until the verdict was handed down, Constance prayed to God every day. The following year, Constance was sentenced to death for the murder of a Russian medical student. She did not appeal to the Imperial Supreme Court. Whilst awaiting the execution of her sentence, the timing of which remained uncertain, Constance decided to meticulously record the events leading up to that point. "Oh God, this is what you are witnessing right now. It doesn't matter if you aren't God. I beg you, could you please tell this poor woman just one thing? Why was this woman, who is inferior in every respect, in terms of experience, age, and physical strength, able to defeat that young woman? Who on earth was it that pinned that woman to the ground and kept punching her in the face?"
Die kalte Glut, es flüstert der Wind im finsteren Heim. Ich sitze am Fenster verlassen, allein, zeige dir, wo schlägt die Mitternachtsstund, doch leer bleibt dein Blick.